And it was the first day I was gonna start flying material out here. And I thought to myself, that's the first time I doubted myself. I thought, Matt, once you start that process, there's really no going back. You aren't gonna fly it back, you're gonna burn it down. The smarter thing to do right now, Matt, is to take this material and build a rentable cabin on the road system. If I was chasing the dollar, that would have been the smarter move. But I thought, well, I'm gonna do the dream. The really spectacular creation is not the hut, but it's the environment in which it sits. And what I want is for people to be able to sit and be totally comfortable as if they were in their own house. If you stay at the Glacier Hut, one of the fun things about it is it requires flight. And so we'll take off here from Sheep Mountain. It's a short flight, but it is beautiful. And we'll go up and over a glacier. When you arrive, it is the only thing there. And so when a person arrives here at this airstrip and they know that they're gonna fly in a bush airplane out to a wilderness adventure, most people have something in their mind. I'm going into the Alaska wilderness, it's probably gonna be pretty rustic. And then when they walk through the door, the experience looks something like this. Welcome to the Glacier Hut. We're currently standing at approximately 4,000 foot elevation. The glacier is 200 feet below us, but once you work your way down onto the glacier, it's really fun hiking. You can go up the ice a long ways in a short time. One of my favorite features is that glacial moraine that goes up. As you see, it's the old glacial moraine that goes up and makes that curve to the right. As the colors start to turn and everything goes yellow and red and the tundra changes colors and you got the snow-capped peaks back behind it. I love it. We have the front door to the hut and we have the door to the sauna. But we're gonna go into the hut first and I'll show you around. The hut has a full kitchen, a little refrigerator, full stove, an oven. The stove we flew in on the side of the Super Cub. So I just strapped this on the side. Coffee pot's 120 volt coffee pot. It really is just a kind of a normal B&B. And you wouldn't even know that you aren't in your own house, other than you arrived here in an airplane and the view out the window is probably a little different. There was a couple times building this hut that I knew I was in over my head. One of my favorite stories, I had a big steel I-beam, but I needed to get it out here. But I couldn't afford to bring a helicopter up from Anchorage to do it because it weighed over 1,000 pounds. We were out here framing the walls. And the day we got the walls framed, my brother ended up being, who flies helicopters, my brother ended up being stationed a mile away from our base at Sheep Mountain to fly some Red Bull athletes on mountain bikes up to the top of mountains. And they agreed to let me use the helicopter for the evening to come out and set the I-beam. Of course I had to pay for the helicopter, but only the 8-minute flight out here, set the I-beam, go back. Like that is by the grace of God, because I didn't know how I was gonna get the I-beam. I mean, I had ideas. I was gonna have it flown out here and set out here, and then I was gonna carry a 1,000-pound I-beam inside with lots of friends and use jacks and put it up later. The thing that made that so crazy is it was the one day that we had the walls up but not the roof. It was one day in the summer. Like I could never have scheduled it. There was no way I could have scheduled, well, on July 26th, I think we'll have the walls up and we should bring a helicopter out here. Like in the morning, it wasn't an option and that night it was done. And like for me to stand there and go, yep, it's all because of my planning and my brilliance and I knew I could do it because I'm the man and I dream big. It's like, no. Like that's the hand of God in Matt's life. This is a wood stove. We right now are burning a lot of construction scraps, but I also bring in this nice dry spruce. And this little wood stove is super efficient, does a really nice job of heating this place. We have these comfortable chairs and a spotting scope so that when you sit here and see a critter out there climbing around the cliffs, or you want to see an avalanche or something like that, we have some optics here to do that. The king bed is actually 2 twin beds. These beds also stack. And so I can take one bed, put it up on top of the other and push that completely out of the way. Again, just to open up more floor space. So upstairs we have the 2 twin beds here that can be converted into a single king bed. You can sleep either 4 individuals or 2 couples here really comfortably. This is the shower room. It's got a little window in the shower, which is fun because it's got a killer view. And then we're in the sauna now, where we have a low bench and a high bench and a wood stove that works really well. You can light this thing off and just let it simmer for about 20 or 30 minutes and it will start getting quite warm in here. By 40 minutes, you should be able to be in a full sweat. And the view is marginal, but hopefully you can live with it. I think it's really important to do hard things. And the reason I built the Glacier Hut, apart from wanting to share the experience, was because I wanted something that would be really hard to do. And so we started this project. I flew in here with 12 different friends, 12 different trips to walk around and look for a good spot to build the hut. This spot was on the very bottom, like this exact spot on top of this moraine was my least favorite because it required the most amount of effort, because it was very uneven. I was looking for naturally flat spots so I wouldn't have to spend a year doing dirt work. And one person's advice, it was my brother, he stood right here on this ridge and he said, "The water, you hear the water running?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You have to hear that." And he goes, "And that other spot you're looking at is just a little bit lower and it blocks that sound." Like, that's just one person's feedback. I thought, that is an excellent point. I want to be able to hear that water. My friends are so amazing. My friends came out here and did so much work. And so the richest things for me in the end were the time that I had, the excuse that I had to be in the wilderness working. I loved that. This is just a life-enriching experience. And secondly, the relationships built and developed through hiring friends to help me do it. Let me show you my very nice outhouse, because this is the nicest outhouse in Alaska. You won't even know you're in an outhouse. This outhouse is the home of what we call the poop and shoot. And so, just to demonstrate like fully what I mean, if a person were to sit here, poop and shoot. I bet that doesn't make it in the video. I took a fan from a computer, one of those little tiny 4.5-inch fans, and I put it inside that pipe. And so it's constantly 24/7 pulling stink out of the outhouse hole, and it's powered by the one solar panel on the property. So the one solar panel keeps a great big battery charge that runs that little fan so that the outhouse is odorless. That was important to me because I hate outhouses, but I love this outhouse. There's something very humbling about being in a setting like this. I'm not talking about a setting like this, the hut. I'm talking about a setting like this. There's something very humbling about that. And to hear that expressed and to know people that wouldn't normally be able to experience this environment, to know that those are the people that are staying here, I really enjoy that. Looking down the road, I have 17 years to implement using this location to hopefully bless people's lives. I really hope that people will come here and be enriched by the experience. Like, to look out at those hills and contemplate and wrestle with, like, is that a big accident out there, or did like somebody create that? Because that's pretty remarkable.
Hey guys, Daniel here with the Airplanes in the Wild YouTube channel. If you want to know more about the Glacier Hut, or if you want to stay at the Glacier Hut, click the link in the video description. It'll take you to Matt's website. And if you do stay at the Glacier Hut, mention that you heard about it here. Also, to support our channel, please subscribe, like this video, and comment. All those things will really help us grow our channel, which will in turn help us make more content like this. Thank you.